And people will be dishing out advice based on their approach and their process, which is quite often just comfortable. If your approach to street photography is comfortable, hesitant, fearful, then your images are going to reflect that. I recorded this once and ballsed it up, and we had a better backdrop. Guys, most of the images that we see these days that are, inverted commas, street photographs, whether that's on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, the images are kind of very comfortable and very standard. But I sometimes think that if the person taking these photographs handed the camera to a random person close to them on the street, the image that that person got wouldn't be that much different, unless they're apt to be an awesome photographer. Listen, I'm not a critical person in that way. Honestly, my philosophy is live and let live, for want of a better cliche. I mean, I love a family snapshot. But the purpose of this video is to support guys that are just starting out. Because I think when we're just starting out, sometimes just by default, we're kind of relatively confident as people, and we can bring that into our photography when we take it up. But quite often that's not the case, and people have insecurities, and they're perhaps not as discerning with the answers they get to their questions as they could be, at least in a way that's going to better serve them at that stage of their creative development. But like I said, I have no problem with people taking photographs just for fun. What I have considerations about is people giving advice when they kind of don't really know a decent photograph from a ham sandwich. I don't even have too much of an issue with the people giving the advice. Like I said, this video is more to support people who are just starting out, to kind of just be discerning, guys, with where that information's coming from, who you're asking. By the way, for example, just because you'll find a whole bunch of guys on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube who have a huge following. And it might be that they have a huge following and they are awesome photographers. Quite often that's not the case. And just because somebody has a huge following, that's not necessarily in alignment with their skill set or their talent even. It's just not. It's like Marlon Brando said, I'm sure he was talking about Hollywood here when he said, don't judge your talent by the size of your paycheck. Don't judge your talent by the size of your paycheck. I think what I'm getting at here is so important to be discerning, even with the advice that I'm giving. So the kind of tip here is especially for beginners, is be discerning with who you're asking questions to, but even more so, 1000% more, be discerning with the information that comes back. Spread it out. Don't lean too much in one direction relative to being influenced. No, I didn't say being inspired here, I said being influenced. Because when we're starting out, we can be over-influenced. And sometimes we get into that groove of following like one person's work, or we're excited about how that person's shooting, and it's almost like we get into that groove and of following their stuff and attempting to imitate that, and we lose our way. Like I said as well, for me, and this is just my opinion, most street photography is comfortable, and people will be dishing out advice based on their approach and their process, which is quite often just comfortable. If your approach to street photography is comfortable, kind of hesitant and fearful, then your images are going to reflect that. I get bunches of questions from photographers on different social media platforms and also at my workshop, and there's a subtext to the questions that they asked. And that subtext is kind of, how do I become comfortable as a street photographer or a photographer? In my experience, being comfortable and taking the kind of photographs that are going to resonate with people, that are going to make people like, oh, wow. Being comfortable and getting those photographs, they don't exist on the same plane. It's like, it's not part of the deal. You can't have it both ways. There's no growth without rigor. In all the years I've been taking photographs, and I've been shooting street photography for around about 13 years, is there any photograph that I've taken that A, resonates with people, and B, I'm really connected with, that means a lot to me? Those photographs have been taken via me pushing through, like being scared perhaps, and then pushing through, challenging myself, or being challenged and then yeah, there's all of that stuff going on that it's like I'm scared, I'm apprehensive. There's that conversation in my head. I'm like, should I be doing this? And then pushing through and doing it. And then you're going to see your images are going to shine. There's nothing wrong with being scared, by the way. And as a street photographer, I mean, it's not for the faint of heart. And also, but like, you know, I said those comfortable images. There's nothing wrong with those images either. There's nothing wrong with them. And are those the kind of photographs that you really want to take? So guys, if you're finding these videos in any way supportive and or even that you enjoy them, please subscribe to the channel, guys. It's such a big support for me. I know I keep going on about it. And what would even be a bigger support if you kind of share the channel with your friends? It really would be a big support. No pressure. And give this video a thumbs up, guys. Same thing, it's a big support. And hope this was useful. Comments. Cheers, guys. See you in the next video.